If you're a North American Hunting Club member, you've no doubt seen Thompson Center's You Call the Shots feature in North American Hunter magazine. Now, it's your turn to join us in the field on actual hunts. You'll be faced with the same decision as our panel of experts. Mr. Whitetail, Larry Weishuhn. Bill Miller, Executive Director of the North American Hunting Club. And Gordy Cron, editor of North American Hunter magazine. The action happens fast, so get ready for Thompson Center's You Call the Shots.
Anybody who's seen North American Hunter before has probably heard me say it 10 times. Anticosti Island is one of my favorite places on earth to hunt whitetail deer. Between hunting in the big spruce forests on your own and actually hunting deer on the seashore, I don't know of any place else you can do it.
Bill, Anticosti obviously is such a great place because of the number of deer there. But you know, really, there never were deer there to begin with. They were brought in years ago. Now, I've been there during the fall. I've never been there during the time when there was this much ice and it was that cold. So it's got to have been a different type of hunt from what I experienced.
This was their late season hunt. We were there in December, and it is the prime time to hunt deer down on the beach because basically the heavy snows have pushed them down, and what they're feeding on a great deal is the kelp that washes up on the beach. Now, the thing about Anticosti, you can't go up there, or you shouldn't go up there thinking that you're going to take a buck that even approaches record book proportions. A good buck on this island is a 120, 130, 140, 10 point, and you're not going to see one of those every time you go up there. Now, my guide Jill Dumaresque and I spotted a bedded buck and a doe. They have no idea we're around.
You can certainly see that they don't see a lot of hunting pressure. I mean, they're bedded out in the open, in the wide open, instead of back in there in the heavy cover where I would expect to see them.
Well, here's where we're at. What would you guys do?
120 yards. Now we've got alert deer. That doe spotted you or saw some movement, and she's up on her feet, getting ready to move, and he's about to do the same. The question is, is he gonna pop up and stand there, or is he just gonna bolt? I guess in this situation, I would let it play out. I would hope that he would get up and give me a better shot than this.
Gordy, I tend to agree with you, but I know how Bill feels about his 7mm weight, and he knows precisely where that bullet's going to strike at that 120 yards distance. You know, there is a neck shot available there. He's kind of quartered toward us, so there's not really a good body shot. If it were me personally, I really think I'm going to be like you. I'm going to play this one out to see what's going to happen.
Here's your shot. 120 yards to a bedded whitetail buck. You're hunting with your favorite centerfire rifle. The buck is getting ready to move. Gordy and Larry would wait him out. But what would you do?
You know, there's an interesting ethical situation here that for a long time I never even realized existed until I wrote a story in North American Hunter magazine years ago about the hunt that my dad made that stood out most. And he had gone out on a snowy morning and stalked his way through pine plantings until he tracked a buck down to its bed. And this deer was curled up in a ball underneath one of these low-growing pines, and he shot the buck in its bed and it never moved. We got letters like you wouldn't believe about the ethics of shooting a deer in its bed. And to me, that only means that you've done everything right. You are the ultimate predator at the moment that happens. So to me, it's always been, if I could take a buck in its bed, that was a sign that I am a good hunter. And to be honest with you, this is one of the rare opportunities to do that. And because it's a rifle that I shoot all the time and a cartridge that I use almost exclusively at this point for whitetail deer, I felt confident taking this shot. But you know what? I missed the first shot. I followed up with a second and took the deer.
Bill, I tend to agree with you. Taking a deer in his bed is talking about your dad, and I remember the article extremely well. I've done the same thing. And to me, that is being the ultimate predator. It's like the mountain lion coming in, slipping in and pouncing on a deer. The other thing, that's a really good Anticosti buck. That's a whole lot bigger than the one that I took when I was there.
Well, hunting on Anticosti is always an adventure. And the best thing about it, you got 2 tags still, so I still got another deer to go.
North American Hunter is brought to you by Gander Mountain. We live outdoors. Block 4x4, the originators of open-layered archery targets. The Polaris Ranger, hardest working, smoothest riding utility vehicle you can buy. Federal Premium, every shot counts. Cutterback digital scouting camera, longer battery life, faster trigger speed. And by these other fine sponsors. North American Hunter is a production of the North American Hunting Club.